You want to do it before the whole podcast even starts?
Do you want to introduce the show?
Without context, just go.
I think we did start. This is a great opening.
Technically
So go
recording.
Hey, everybody.
Okay.
Natural.
All right, I got a real question. A real thinker.
Start the
Oui.
show, though.
All right,
wait.
this is Rock Pops. This is Chris Vert.
Oh,
That's Chris Vert. That was Joe Pecora.
it's funny. All right, no, someone start it, please. I'm not starting.
All right, welcome to Rock Pops, a podcast about two dads talking everything music, about being in bands, playing in bands. I'm Bill. Music. All yes, everything. Who you are hearing over here is Chris Verderamo. He's a friend of the podcast. He has sent us one of our 5 emails.
Yeah, sure it is.
So happy to have him. Jen Pecora is back as a guest.
Hello.
Jen, happy to have you. And with me always is Joe Pecora. Joe, good evening.
God.
You're such a creep.
Yeah.
So, Chris, what were you just saying?
Oh, no, I have a real think of a question before we even start. And this is for you guys.
Yes.
Who is buying tickets to a Sheryl Crow concert?
People who like a good beer buzz in the morning.
Oh, wow. That's the answer. That's the answer.
Do you have
Also,
something else, or?
No, that was the real thinker.
Oh, okay.
You, though, right?
No.
You would.
All you want to do is have some fun.
What if...
I got a feeling
feeling.
that I'm not the only one, buddy.
What if it was Sheryl Crow and Shania Twain and Melissa Etheridge, Chris?
What was the name of that? Name that tour. What is that called? This is where I'm gonna stop.
Please do.
Yes, 'cause
No, do it.
Please
Do it.
Nope. I'm not going there with you.
Oh, I have a few, but I'm not gonna say it.
It's just the 1996 Yay Summer Tour. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a
Let's go.
terrible one, so
That's good. That's a good name for it.
that's a great name for it.
Yeah, 1996 Summer Fun.
Oh, boy.
No, but Cheryl, because how is she making money still? And you know, I look at pictures of her constantly to see if she's really that hot. She's not that hot anymore.
Oh.
Sheryl Crow. I thought cause
I don't think that was the prerequisite for her. Like, I mean, it might have helped her public image, but she's probably from an era where she still has royalties.
Yeah, points.
Major
and
royalties.
points.
From what? From her just a few hits.
Everything.
She had a lot of hits.
First
Yeah.
cut is the deepest, right? Like she did that, which was
But that's
what
not her.
Cascade
Who was
No,
eating
but
that up?
she
But
covered
who was
it.
eating
Right.
that up? Who was who was buying even the CDs?
Just regular people.
Yeah,
I
man.
don't really
Ants were buying.
That's
it.
true. That is auntie rock.
No, it's anti-rock. This
It's
is not-
anti-rock,
this
yeah.
is
That's
rock
funny.
pop. Not
Right.
That's a whole other
That's a different
podcast.
podcast completely.
Jen, get on it.
I'll start it up.
You're in the demo.
I'll
for
start
Sheryl
it
Crow.
up.
I mean, Sheryl Crow was like one of the original Riot Girls, right? What did you say, Jen?
No, he wasn't.
Skip
Didn't she?
that.
Didn't she like fill in
Not
for
true.
like Fleetwood Mac or something for a while?
She did. Yeah,
Yes.
for Christine McVie.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah,
Well,
You think that's before or after a hit?
that's after. That was in her downturn. Yeah.
Because
that
I know
doesn't
she
sound
did.
too down.
Well, I
To be in
mean,
Fleetwood Mac for a minute.
Yeah. Everybody was. in
no, but I
Fleetwood
mean,
Mac
it
for a
wasn't
time.
like, oh, I'm
wasn't.
Sheryl Crow, I'm a superstar.
Yet.
That's true. There's
No,
still
that's
time.
after.
Jen hasn't been
No.
in Fleetwood Mac yet.
Oh.
is
I
what
haven't
said.
been in there yet.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I saw them live. They were great.
Yes.
Did you?
I'd love
Who?
Who opened?
Wait, no, but who? What
Our
incarnation?
new host.
I think
Episode
it was
4.
the original because I think they were because it was the original. I don't.
Well,
know.
no, that's the Peter Green is the original, which is not.
Right.
But it was recently, like it was.
Yes,
one,
it was,
so it was probably the rumors, like the Buckingham Knicks.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
but no, Lindsey Buckingham.
No,
I
no,
think
Lindsay was
there.
in
He
it.
was ripping
Oh,
it.
really?
And in the last 10 years, I got to see
It
this
was
too.
in
It
the
was
last
great.
10 years.
Yeah,
Definitely last
Oh, man.
5.
they played at the Garden.
Yes.
The rumors lineup.
Wow.
That was
So,
it. That was
yes.
it.
Oh,
They
we
did.
missed
They
that.
did
that
most
was
of-
the show that Lindsey Buckingham.
No, we were gonna go. That was the next tour that was coming up. We were gonna
we
go.
were gonna go.
And-
we didn't know about the first time
and
around.
they booted.
Yes.
Lindsay.
It's like how many
wow.
times have they like I don't know if he's quit multiple
was a
times or
great
they're just
show.
like you.
Well, he was fired this time.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's funny because the fun fact was the first time he departed from the band, they had to replace him with 2 guitarists.
Right. Well, yeah, right.
Yeah. You ever listen to Big Love?
I don't know. I don't know it that my aunt bought tickets for me when she was rich, and it was like not a big deal.
Oh, past tense.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I got to go to a nice show, and it was a terrific show. I felt like I was still seeing artists. They still felt like struggling artists up there, even though they were in the garden. They still felt like gypsy, like
Yeah, well, that's because they were old. And they were actually
drummer was
struggling.
insane.
They
The
were
drummer was a
struggling to
riot.
breathe.
Yeah.
So you were
Oh.
at that MSG show? Yeah.
Yes, I was at the MSG
that's
show.
The same one. That must have been.
Yeah, and like Hoda Kotb was there or something too because she called her out in
Yes.
and she
Yeah.
they
Oda.
Hoda from Hoda and Kathy Lee.
Oh.
Because
Oh my God.
we
real, like,
we had an ongoing
Yeah.
joke because Landslide, like one of the like I think the MTV Unplugged, she says "This is for you, Daddy," and then sings Landslide. She says "This is for you, Hoda."
An odd update.
Yeah. And then also, this was also when American Horror Story was
Yes,
big.
on that,
wow, we were
right?
on it,
So Stevie was on it, but also, oh god, I forgot who the main character that season was. Whoever the Supreme Witch from that
You're right,
season
yeah, they
was,
did.
and she called her out too. So it was like everybody was there. It was a party.
Wow.
You were there too?
You know what? Speaking of, I saw the Eels once by myself, and before I tell the story I want to tell, but I remember I coughed. I had put beer in my mouth, and I coughed, and I spit up all over the back of some guy's head.
What? What's the end of that story? Yeah.
That was just a part of it.
How does
But,
that
like,
connect to anything?
No, but something about being a celebrity and just going to the goddamn show. But I saw Jim Carrey there. It was at Terminal 5.
Whoa.
And he put his head over
For
the
you.
crowd, and he was just like, he did like, and yeah, I was like,
Wow.
so great. Yeah, so I never forget that I got to see Jim Carrey. And this is
Wow.
through the power of music. This is why we do Rock Pops. So what's today's
And who
goddamn-
opened for Eels?
Yeah, and who opened for the Eels that time? I don't remember. But right.
Jim Carrey.
It was Jim Carrey.
Who opened for Fleetwood Mac?
I think it was a lot of those
evening
big
with-
shows. They just
them?
They just do it, But
Right.
Chris, who are you? What are you doing in this house?
So I'm the savior. I am the Antichrist.
What?
I'm your lover. I'm your madness. I'm the face.
Wow,
that's
keep
in
going,
the
please.
crowd.
Sweet.
We have
Okay.
introduced Jen before, but all right. I feel like I got to do some.
Oh yeah,
Some
just
housekeeping
I'm gonna get another beer.
Yeah.
Also,
I'll make
can
it-
we, before that, can we introduce our dog Millie
Yes.
panting into
Yeah.
the microphone?
We can't hear it, but you will when you listen back to that.
Yeah.
As Millie is just panting into
She's
the microphone.
flipping out because there's fireworks and she's so scared. So I'm holding her on our lap,
Want that one?
but
Yeah,
she's
that'll be
also
great.
right in front of the microphone.
Aw. If you guys could see her, she's beautiful.
Yeah, take a picture, post it.
We will. We'll put it on the collage. We got these.
A collage?
Yeah.
Do you not have a social media page? You have a collage?
Well, no, we. Oh, well, actually, thank you for saying that. We finally got a Twitter account at RockPopsPod. Thank you. 14 subscribers so far. Please subscribe. We have been saying like and subscribe every episode. Now we actually have something to subscribe to. We have constant updates on that. We'll do our Throwback Thursdays. I did post a picture of both Joe and I with much longer hair than what we possess now. I don't know. I didn't get your permission to post that picture, but extra bonus content, just group discussions. We will have, if you've noticed on the last couple of episodes, whenever they're posted, you'll have the Rock Pops logo, thanks to Chris Sorrentino, as well as relevant pictures to it. So now we will have a picture of our guest, including Millie Pecora.
Yay.
We also have our email, rockpopspod@gmail.com, and that's all of my housekeeping stuff. So, Joe, you have something.
No, I just wanted to say that if you're listening to this, you are in great company. We have 14, counting 14 followers
Yes.
on Twitter.
Yes.
So
You should shout them all out.
So
exciting.
we love you all.
Yes. Hold on. Let's
Especially
right now.
big shout out to Dan Gallagher. Big shout out to Dan Gallagher.
No, and we also have Nathan Arsenal.
Yes.
He reached out to us
Right.
with a lot of his material.
Which was really cool.
Yeah.
Did you took a listen?
Yes, really, really good.
It's pretty out there, but I dig it.
A fan?
Yeah, a fan. He's super, super prolific. He's done like 32 albums. He's still a teenager.
great.
So we're getting really excited because people are submitting their stuff, and it's just really exciting to hear people submitting stuff, mainly because this is something that, yes, we are still in the circuit but not as much as we were back when we
great
were in our
job,
early
yeah.
20s and stuff. Because I remember back in our early 20s, like we had like email chains going, like, here's my song idea, here's my song idea. Like, you know, me and Casey used to do it all the time, and me and Daniel Lane used to do it all the time. And now hearing a new generation pick that up is really exciting. But what are we doing here today? You kind of paved the way, started talking about different shows. This is kind of a unique topic. It's our favorite opening acts. What does that mean? It's bands that we didn't go to the show to see, but their opener is somebody we discovered that night and immediately fell in love with or immediately sparked interest in. A lot of these bands that I'm going to talk about, at least, are bands that where that night I went over to the merch table and just took whatever they had there.
Bought it.
Didn't pay for it. No, I didn't.
Did you write that joke?
What? What joke? But does anybody want to start, or anybody want to tag on to that?
Well, I just was good because I have a lot to say about openers, but I will say that just to start it open. So we saw They Might Be Giants, Irving Plaza, December 21st, 22nd, whatever, or 23rd even, and 2003.
You're going to take my opener.
Oh, wait, you remember? Because then I have more to talk about.
Was this for the factory showroom tour?
It was. I don't know if it was Factory Showroom.
2003.
2003.
It was right after Christmas.
before
Irving Plaza.
Christmas. It was
We
before-
were in high school?
Yeah, 2003.
Wow.
Oh my god.
So wait, it was Irving Plaza. It wasn't Factory Showroom. Do you remember?
Did they have a brass band backing them up?
Yeah, and the guy who was in Conan O'Brien's band was the trumpet player, and I would always see him
Yes.
after that. Made me so excited after because I would see him on TV. I was like, oh, he was at the show.
You're going to mention Cornmo, aren't you?
Cornmo.
All right, I got to cross Cornmo off my list.
But so it's funny because Cornmo, I saw him. Well, he played the song Gary Busey Boy, and so Cornmo had this facade of. Now, do you remember, Jen? Do you remember?
No. Nope. Still don't remember.
I guess we went to the show together.
I was
Yeah.
at that show, but because we went for my birthday.
Yeah.
We went out to some place. No, I'm thinking in Brooklyn.
You're thinking of
No, I'm thinking of a
because
completely different
it's a
thing. You
different
were there.
time.
I
Yeah, we were
remember
dating.
that. Yeah, we went to that was Hall of Williamsburg.
Yeah.
Which who
yes,
opened
yes.
for them then? I don't even know. Cornmo.
This was the one where somebody
Cornmo
was
too.
being creepy in the group, and then
Yes.
Casey was like, "Hey,
Yeah.
somebody like calling out to John
The
Linnell."
guy-
John
a
Linnell yelled
guy-
at him.
A guy, no, he didn't. A guy grabbed my arm.
Oh, okay.
And Mark was like trying to signal to the guys on the stage.
Yeah.
To
It
like
was in
get
the middle
this
of a
guy
story.
to
How have I never heard
Like,
this
should we
story?
tell-
Yeah, some dude, some like weird, creepy dude, like grabbed my arm, and Mark was trying to get their attention, and they like kept ignoring
Yeah.
Mark. They like very much
Well, because
ignored the
They're
whole
like,
thing.
"We have to tell his story."
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
like getting through a story. He's Flansburgh said he's telling a story.
Yeah, I think they even
That's what it
shushed.
was. I remember Linnell being like,
fuck
"Oh, come on,
Flansburgh."
man."
Yeah.
I mean,
He's
Still-
listening, by the way.
yeah, okay.
He's listening.
Didn't we
number
like
13.
like boost TMBG up like a couple of? And again, I said this
It's
last
with
time,
me.
but
If it's with
TMBG
me.
Yeah, that's
is
yeah.
short for They Might Be Giants. We just saved time, just putting the initials.
But,
But
wait,
yes,
Corn-
Cornmo,
but I
because
saw
he was on my
Cornmo.
list too. So
So
go.
he has he's like Meatloaf, but he plays an accordion, and he's just loud and robust. Has the long, flowing, glam rock hair, white boots, and white pants, and
I describe him as the arena rock Sam Kennison.
yeah, right, yeah.
There was
Yeah.
a couple of things about Cornmo. He came walking out. He had an accordion, again, like dressed all in white and everything, long blonde hair, and he had a drumstick
Yes.
in his shoe.
Yeah.
And a splash cymbal on the floor. Mm-hmm. So, like, every time that there was a climax to a song, he just kicked the splash cymbal. And this guy was just nuts. Was it
nuts.
good? Yes. But
Yes.
I remember there was this one song. Do you remember what this was
Well, I
called?
remember Gary Busey Boy.
There was Gary Busey Boy, but then there was also the Goodbye Girls. And he explained the song by saying, he's like, is there a service? Like, he had an elderly uncle who wanted a service of sex workers who will service you when you're on your deathbed. And that's what the whole song is about. I'm like, this guy is insane.
It's not a bad idea.
I got to see actually Cornmo again opening for Ben Folds.
Me too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And he had a whole band.
He
I'm like, we did it.
Yeah, I don't know if he had a whole band, but I remember he was at Oswego, and so we traveled upstate to go see him. Some college friends and I, and we went to see Ben Folds. And he's like, does anybody have any requests? And from way back, I was like, Gary Busey boy. He's like, we're not doing that one or something. But it's out of a sea of college students. And then also, he like opened up before or after. Remember doing the things with the Communication Corporation? It was in the knitting factory. Remember it had the 3 floors? Like the basement. Cornmo was doing his thing in the basement of the knitting factory. So this is a guy that I saw like...
he followed you.
Years. Yeah,
he knew you were coming to the shows.
But did I ever listen to an album? No. Did I? You know what I mean?
I listened to an album on the way over here tonight.
And how was it? Was it
bad?
And ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce our next guest, Cornmo.
I'm not your Gary Busey boy.
He was very much into like, I look like Gary Busey. He's like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
You look like Sam Kinnison's cousin.
But it was just funny, this like being around music, and I was in his world, like I was orbiting around him, or just he was in my peripheral the whole time.
So we're looking up Cornmo now.
Yes.
What's he doing nowadays, Jen?
I looked him up recently too. He's on Instagram.
Is he on tour?
A lot of the
Let's go
videos
see.
I've seen, he's playing in backyard barbecues.
Oh, okay.
Top songs, Busey boy.
There it is. Yeah.
What's his tour though? Look at the tour.
All right,
He's probably
relax,
doing
I'm
New York
getting
City
there.
No,
shows.
look, we need answers, and we also need him to play my backyard. That'll be a special Rock Pops episode.
The biggest thing here is that this was something that I've never seen before in my life, and I could not take my eyes away from it. And I was about it because this guy,
we were about it. Yeah, we were about it.
Because he was just here to party, like.
Yeah, but that's what you need to be an opener. Because all right, ask me all the openers I've seen. Like I have a list. I've seen Go Bordello open for Primus.
I was at that show.
How many times have you listened to Go Bordello?
Not many.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But
they're good though. But they're like a good.
And
band.
that's a different thing, though.
But you knew that band.
There's
Sorry.
also lots of bands, especially opening acts,
Yeah.
that catch your attention live.
Yes.
And that's what they're meant for.
Yes.
Like Go Bordello is meant to be like a live experience.
Yeah, it was cool.
Another
Very
perfect
cool.
example of that, I went to go see, a very, very obvious summer show, Santana at PNC Bank Art Center.
This is a good
That's so
story.
smooth.
Oh, what? How it opens up?
Right, it's you and Pat Given
Oh,
talking about
Pat Given. He says like he called exactly how the show would open up. He's like, okay, then the lights are gonna go dark, right?
Yeah.
And then you're just gonna hear like wind chimes, like dun 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 dun, like
Yeah.
the congas playing and stuff.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun
I'm
dun
there,
dun dun
yeah.
dun dun.
Cornmo.
And then he's just Cornmo comes out. But then you see Carlos just come out, just writing that one note, and everybody's going nuts. Yay!
And he plays that
That
note
was-
for an hour and a half.
Yes, that was exactly how it opened up. I was like, Pat called it verbatim to how it was. But Los Lonely Boys, they were just like adult contemporary, whatever. But what a show they put on.
Yeah, huh?
But like the thing is, it's like stuff where you're not really showing how good of a musician you are as much as you are a showman, because they were like throwing their guitars and basses at each other and catching them, and while like not missing a beat, getting behind each other, and like both of them had like 4 hands on the guitars and everything. It's like cool, but
Well, I mean, in all
anyway,
fairness,
that wasn't one of mine, but just as an example of
Now
but they kind of have to, right?
Yeah.
Because an opening act their main goal is to warm up the crowd. And they want to stand out so that people will eventually see them anyway. So
Yes.
no one's really...
Yeah,
most of
no.
the time people are there drinking their beer, talking to their
Yes.
friends, whatever, and they're not paying attention. So they have to do something to get people's attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And draw the attention to the stage.
Yeah.
So I will say that they were a great opening act then. I didn't
You
see
saw
them.
that?
No,
No.
but I mean, just
Yeah,
by
yeah,
the
yeah,
description,
Yeah.
that's a great opening act.
It was
But you know
fun.
what? I'll tell you, I'm going to jump in and tell you who
Yeah,
my
go.
best opening act was, who I did not go to see. It was the Foo Fighters.
okay.
All right. So the Foo Fighters opened for, in fairness, they were not listed as a double bill with the Chili Peppers.
Oh,
it was
my
right after
God. Wow.
Californication came out.
Wow.
And
So this was Color and the Shape era then.
yes.
Yeah.
So
And it was Concrete Blonde. No, it was Blonde Redhead.
oh yeah, they're good too.
Right,
They were
Blonde
around back
Redhead.
then?
Blonde
Wow.
Redhead was great. But
Wow.
Foo Fighters were the next band, and
Wow.
they talk about showmanship.
Yeah.
That was amazing. It was like before I started hating the Foo Fighters.
Yeah, which we want. I heard. Yeah, we got to talk about that maybe later. But
Yeah. So the Foo Fighters, it was just like they did. They brought Taylor out to sing. They did Have a Cigar.
Yeah.
And at some point, like an opening act, to have like the singer walk out all throughout the crowd and like just do the whole thing, and it was a cable. It wasn't even like a wireless system. It was a fucking cable. It had to be 200
Where was
feet of. It was at PNC.
Oh, PNC even.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like that you name dropped the drummer, but then you just referred to the singer as the singer.
Well, the reason why,
As if he is an unnameable person.
right? Nobody's ever heard of this young upstart, but because you don't see the singer like doing that kind of thing, so it could have just. I was mentioning any band, any opening act, so I'll just say that. Yeah.
So did they do Hero, Monkey Wrench? Is that?
Yeah, they had to have done everything
And
that
it
they
was
have
great.
because they only had 2 albums
was
at the time.
awesome.
Yeah.
Not any of this like them playing Nebworth or whatever the fuck that thing.
Yeah, and then they get half of Led Zeppelin on stage and stuff.
Did you say Nebworth?
Yeah.
What's that?
That's a British like festival thing.
Okay.
Wembley Stadium.
Wembley.
I mean, that just sounds British, doesn't it?
Too British.
Crumbly dumbly.
Oh.
Yeah.
Say it with your British accent, though. He spilled his beer.
Right, crumbly dumbly. Fuck off. Right?
Why is that your British accent? I hate it.
What's the big festival? The
Yeah.
the big English British festival?
Oh,
in Sydney,
Glastonbury.
Glastonbury. That's it.
You know what? That's what I want to do. for 50.
Glastonbury.
Oh wow!
You better tell your wife.
It's coming up tomorrow.
I
right?
hope she listens to this podcast.
50. That was 10 years ago.
Ooh,
Oh, I
good
just
luck
had
on
my
that.
my 37th birthday recently. You know what I got?
Wow.
COVID.
COVID.
Yay.
Round of applause
It was
for Bill
fun.
and his COVID.
No, it wasn't. It was not.
You love COVID. You
Corn
love.
vid.
Just say you love COVID. Just say it.
A coworker of mine said I've been actively trying to get it for the last 2 years. He's like, "Congratulations, you got it."
You love COVID.
Congratulations.
All right, the one that I'm going to talk about is it's actually an opener for an opener. I went to go see this band Ozma, who was part of the Weezer circuit. I want to do a whole episode just on them because it's a band that I absolutely love. But I went to go
heard of
see Ozma. Ozma is
I know
great.
like
It's like
two
Weezer
songs.
with keyboard. It's
Oh, I meant
but-
Weezer. Never heard of them.
They're they got a couple of good songs.
Kermit's here.
I went to go see Ozma at the Knitting Factory back in 2003. It was senior year of high school, and this band Slow Reader opened for them. Slow Reader was a group from Texas that was now the Stereo, I believe, is the band. It's like a pop punk band, or they also have another band called The Information. Like a lot of this, like late 90s, early 2000s pop punk type of stuff. But Slow Reader was a side project that toured with Ozma, and it was one of the greatest bands I've ever seen. Yeah. And they did nothing but one album. It was like the Garden State soundtrack all rolled up into one, but better. It's like, say if you had Pedro the Lion, Belle and Sebastian, Elliott Smith, but with kind of like a Radiohead OK Computer era background.
Oh yeah.
And the show itself, like, they didn't really do any like pizzazz, but it was just a 3-piece band. The album itself only had 2 guys on it, and the drums were all just sequenced, Fruity Loops or whatever. But it doesn't sound like that. It all sounds very acoustic. But they were phenomenal. I bought that album right at Jump at the merch table, and I highly, highly suggest they have it on Spotify.
Yeah, do they? They're on. Wow, that's so funny.
So good. And then the whole album is very relaxed, very very acoustic, and then the last song is like super arena rock out of
That's
out of
always
thin
great.
air.
That's fun.
And it's very calm, very relaxing, but it was so great live. They were actually the reason why I wanted to do this episode, because they just like came on my playlist one day, and I was like, this fucking band was incredible.
What playlist? You have you have downloaded songs that you?
No, this is just like whatever Spotify thing that I had, like just
So
like
it came up on your Spotify.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because like I think it was like something like linked to like some punk stuff or whatever, but like from that
the
era.
one album.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
if you're
cool.
listening to Ozma, then
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
maybe, yeah.
well, yeah, because they were
Yeah.
associated with it, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh
But,
wow, that's great. Oh, that's so funny. So when that came on, you must have really been excited.
Yes. So
Yeah,
then
that's
I
funny.
just started. I went down this spiral of like
Yeah.
just listening to the whole album again, and they were really really good, and
That's
there
cool.
was nothing else after that. Which
That's so
I mean,
crazy.
unfortunately, is something that happens like with Cornmo. Like, they just like fall into obscurity then because it's like, wow, this is great. I want to see more of this. Hence why we went to Ozma, because we saw Ozma open for Weezer. So we were like, okay, great, they're playing at the Min Factory as a headliner. But they went on for a couple more albums, but like, you know, you always try to like get the opener too, you know? But yeah, Slow Reader.
Where's Ozma from?
Ozma, I think, is from California.
California.
Yeah.
That's cool. I got to check them out.
Yeah.
How about you, Chris? Who do you have?
No, here's one. I got like a few different stories, you know what I mean? But like, there's no like, oh, this band I followed and I loved. But I guess there was the odd man. Well, one that I did follow and love was Rufus Wainwright opened up for Ben Folds.
Oh, okay.
And I guess maybe I knew of him. Like, so it wasn't like I discovered because I just like finally got to see him, but I never listened to him before. But I remember going to the merch table and buying, not the most recent album, the one before. Which one? And she gave it to me, and then we fell in love with him. So that was great. That was at Prospect Park. It was great. Had no idea what he was about either, so I got to go see him. So that was really awesome.
Did you? So after that point, did you still listen to him? Like,
Oh yeah, no, I fell in love with
album-wise?
Rufus.
Yeah?
Yes, that's one opener that I didn't even think was an opener, but I don't know why, because I think I saw him as an equal with Ben Folds. You know what I mean? I felt like it was the two of them out on tour,
It
but
wasn't
he
an
did open.
unknown opener.
So
yeah,
his because I've never seen him live, and I don't like. I've never really like appreciated the album stuff that
Yeah.
much. But is it that kind of same Ben Folds of like storytelling while playing? You know, Rufus.
You mean storytelling in his songs or storytelling like on
Like
stage?
his interaction with the audience.
Oh, he's so flamboyant.
Mm.
It's so funny. It's just so charming. But one time he's just like, if this wasn't at that show, but one time he was wearing like he plays the guitar like this, you know, like it's like up. If you guys could see this at home, but like I remember he's like. And like he had like a set because he played at a small theater. Oh, which I have another opener that opened up. That I'll tell you who it was after I tell the story. But he like had like a change because he was at a small theater, so he was able to really like enjoy the night and make it like his own. So he had not a set change, a costume change. He's like, these are not white pants. I know better not to wear white pants. Like I'm not crazy. Like, that's his band. Like that's his banter.
Right.
He's just remarkably flamboyant and did drugs in Chelsea and got
Right, in
caught
the
up.
hotel, right,
That's
yeah,
his.
right.
Was he worried that he was going to piss himself? Is that why he didn't wear white
I don't
pants?
know. Maybe cum himself. I don't know. But,
I mean, if you're gonna come yourself, white pants.
Yeah.
Chris was like, "I'm going to keep this
I know,
episode
that's-
PG."
Yeah.
no, he's got his whole story. He really loves his mom, Martha, and he loves Long Island, and then taking the train. He tells a lot of stories. Yes, when you enter Rufus's world, it's Chelsea. It's taking the train from Poughkeepsie to Chelsea to Fire Island. That's what his songs are. And then, but like, there's a song called Tulsa when he was on tour, and he's great. But somebody who opened up for Rufus, because he's like, you may be wondering why I had these guys as my openers, because they could really dance. And it was OK Go.
Oh yeah.
Oh, fun.
And they did the treadmill thing live.
Cool.
Really?
Yeah, so Rufus had them do it, which I thought at that point OK Go was bigger than Rufus, and I didn't know what was going on. But like I had known them already, OK Go, but
Right.
seeing them live was great too, which
that's
is really funny.
That is funny.
That's great.
Okay,
That
go.
sounds like
That's
fun.
a great. They're a great live band.
Yeah, I would like to see
They're a
them
lot of
more.
fun.
I like listening to them. I never put them on. I'm always like, nice.
Yeah. Also, very. All right, I got like I don't want to skip Jen, but my connection there is that is like they are super nice.
Oh,
So okay, so
go.
I have two
Okay,
bands,
go.
two bands that are my opening act bands. One of them is a band called Long Wave.
Oh, yeah.
So Long Wave, they have I think 2 albums, But their first album came out, and the reason I knew of them, they opened up. I don't even remember the band they opened up for. That's the crazy thing, is that they like blew me away.
Oh yeah, where
And
was
I
that
was
store?
like-
Who they opened for? Or, yeah.
I don't remember who they opened
Get
for.
the hell
And it was
out of
someplace
here,
in I don't even remember. It was someplace in Jersey, and I got like, they were so good that I got like pissed and like depressed because I was in a band at the time and we were like trying to do things, you know.
And they were doing
and they were doing what I want to do, but way better than I would ever do it. And they and it was just fucking awesome. And they were produced by my favorite producer, and it was just like a whole like storm of things. And I just remember being blown away. But I bought the album at the merch table, and I just listened to it constantly.
Yeah, wow.
Fast forward, I don't know, maybe 5 years. The original like calling him a lead guitar player is not fair. It's because he's like more of like soundscapes and stuff. Can't tour with the band, and has like left. I know a kid who's filling in for him. They have a tour going to Japan. That kid can't do the tour. He asks me to go meet the band to play guitar. So they're opening up for OK Go at Williamsburg Music Hall. And I'm like backstage, like talking with all of them and hanging out with I'm like super nervous about like talking to these guys and like trying to like make a good impression so that I can like fill that spot.
Yeah.
And the OK Go guys are just like in the hallway, and they're just like it's almost like they're like just being super nice to me and being like really cool and like talking to me and stuff. I'm like, yeah, cool. Can you guys hold off? I really wanted to like I need to talk to these. But they were like awesome. They were super nice and super cool, and that's.
Well, what happened with
Wow.
Long Wave?
They didn't end up. The kid ended up taking that because the other gig that he was supposed to get fell through.
Oh, okay.
So
It's funny you say the kid. I'm just thinking like, you know, the
He
gorilla.
is. He was
He's
like-
like 15 years
Yeah,
old.
I know. I'm just thinking, yeah, like.
but I mean, he was probably about like 12 years to 15 years younger than
Wow.
me. Yeah, I just knew him because I had worked. How did I know him? Oh, they were fans of Happy Anarchy. The band that kid was from initially were fans of Happy Anarchy
And so Long Wave, where were they from? And
from Brooklyn. But you know, it's the wild thing about that is that you know who their tour manager was?
no, who? Yeah.
Bobby Buns. So later on, I end up doing sound at the Cup, and I, hanging out with Bobby Buns, and so those guys in different incarnations ended up playing at the Cup, and I did sound for them, and it was just it's just like a weird kind of like.
Are they still around, or how much success did they get, or?
I don't think they had much,
Yeah. It's funny.
Yeah, but they like I'll send you the album is like really it's definitely like sounds like early 2000s.
Yeah, right.
But it's so good. Still so good.
Well, that's great. It's still good, right? Because I went back to some openers. Well, I'll just say like one. There was this band, Two Gallants. They were awesome. They opened up for Claypool, but also they played at Purchase when I went to Purchase. So they were there playing at Purchase. So I got to see them. They were great. And then I bought the album, but then I like re-listened because I knew I was doing this. I was like, all right, this is not,
Why is it like when you go to a series of shows, there's always like that one band that like you just keep running into?
Dinosaur Jr.
Really?
Yeah,
but that's a good band.
But I know,
Yeah,
but
what?
I'm never like there for them, or like it's just I never listen to them, But they always are opening.
Yeah.
Always. I
Yeah,
think I've
that's
seen
true.
them open honestly probably 4 times. And
Yeah.
I don't even.
That was Saves the Day for me.
Oh,
Like,
I love Saves the Day. I love in respect. I love Saves the Day. Yeah.
yeah, I always try to avoid them.
That's so funny.
I do love them.
That's so funny.
So wait, we skipped over you.
yeah.
yeah.
Jen,
Oh, it's
what do you
okay.
have?
I mean, I'm not good.
Cornrows.
I'm not good for this because I have a
You saw Cornmo, so
I
what do
saw
you? How do
Corn-
you feel about Cornmo?
Cornmo was the main act that I went to go see. No opener. He played for 3.5 hours. The best night of my life.
Days.
That's everything. 3.5 days. No, I'm terrible for this. I have a terrible memory.
Remember we went
Great,
to go
cut
see,
me off.
No, we went to go.
Smash the
Well,
patriarchy.
Well, let me throw you. We saw an opener for not Pedro the Lion. Oh, it's a 3-word thing. Well, we saw
Okay.
Group Love was an opener.
Really?
See,
Where?
in the park in Central
At Central Park?
And they opened up for These 3 dudes from Connecticut. Not Pedro the Lion. It's like something the band Portugal the Man.
Oh, but we went to go see Group Love.
And Group Love was awesome.
I don't think I even stayed for Portugal.
No,
the
we
Man.
didn't stay for.
We
Portugal.
didn't.
No,
I was there, right?
No,
I don't know. I don't think you were. No.
no,
Really?
you weren't.
Yeah. No.
Because we got into Group Love at the same time. We were.
Yeah, we went to go see them
Mikey
together
had
before,
tickets.
but you couldn't go. You weren't there at the Central Park show.
Yeah, for some
Nope.
reason.
Sorry. Peace out. You weren't there. We saw them at Terminal 5. Me, you, and Mikey saw them.
We saw them more than once.
It's possible. I did. I don't know about you.
Wow.
So
It's so aggressive.
No, it's not though.
I'm fairly positive you weren't there because I was trying to find someone to come to the show.
Yeah, I remember because I went for free. Another
Yeah,
Christopher
you
Nolan's
love
only going
that.
because it's
You
free.
love that shit. No, I have a terrible memory. I wish I could like control F in my brain all the concerts I've been to, but that doesn't exist. One thing that I thought was funny, my first concert I ever went to, I went to see kind of the same thing like you just said. I went to go see Ben Folds 5, but they were the opening band
Yeah.
for Beck.
Oh,
This was
Oh,
in
cool.
Beck is great,
1996. It was such a cool show. I was
Yeah.
such a little kid.
Yeah.
But 98. It was
Yeah, really?
such a cool show. It
Where
was
was
so
it?
much fun at Jones Beach.
so nice. Okay.
Yeah, it was my first concert. It was like a
Wow.
big deal. My brother got me tickets to go see like a real concert. I loved Ben Folds 5. And they were so good. It was incredible. And then I was like, I guess we're staying to see this other thing. And I was...
But you knew it was Beck. You knew Loser, right? You had to.
Yeah, and this was also New Pollution.
Yes, Loop Pollution.
So
much
like
fun.
I knew it. It was
Yeah.
so much fun. The whole set was so good. It was so much fun. So that's my opener was the band I went to see. Another band that I saw that I never knew before seeing them. There was something at McCarran Park, I think, or the pool.
Yeah,
Is that McCarran Pool?
McCarran Pool.
I
yeah.
think one of Joan Bergio's bands played. I think that's why I went. But my real reason I went was because they were playing Pee-wee's Big Adventure. It was one of the summer movies.
They were the opener for Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
They were the opener for Pee-wee's Big
Oh
Adventure.
man, seeing that live would be.
It was, oh man, I'll come back to that.
Yeah.
But this band Oberhofer
Oh,
was really, really good. I just like still go back and listen to it.
they're on Spotify. and
Yeah,
stuff?
they're on Spotify. They were really, really fun. And I'm a person that's like, I'm just here to see the bands I'm here to see.
I know.
I don't really, I know I'm not good. I'm not a good
No. I
music
used to be.
person.
That's what I am now.
But I'm like,
yeah.
I just want to see the thing I
Yeah.
want to see. But they were playing, and I was like, wow, I am loving this. I was like very into it the whole time. I don't even know what bands of Joe's played. My actual friend I went to see. But
Probably Bueno.
Yeah,
I
that's
guess
a one.
so. No, it was a while ago. I don't think.
If it wasn't Bueno, it had to have been Paragraph then.
No,
Because as far as like,
definitely
playing
wasn't
shows like
Paragraph.
that.
Maybe it was Bueno. I don't know.
but yeah, oh no, you were gonna say
Or
something.
could it have been Honey? It might have been Honey.
Oh, honey, that makes sense.
It actually might have been Honey.
Wait,
But
but I am the Pat Smear of Honey.
You-
I was not there.
but it was probably
Early days.
pre-Pat,
Early days.
pre-Pat, but not Pat Given. You know,
Right.
so now I'm making it
Early
more
days.
confusing.
Oh, I have another one.
We were I wanted to just follow up on Pee Wee. We were supposed to. We had tickets to go see Pee Wee's Big Adventure, like in a movie theater, I guess. And then Paul Rubens was doing a Q&A after because it was like the anniversary of
You
the
can't have
movie.
Paul Rubens in a movie theater. Just,
Oh, wow. You're right. You're very right.
Yeah.
he's not allowed.
But then COVID happened and it stopped
Oh.
everything. And then even though They Might Be Giants got rescheduled 3 times to a Wednesday night,
Yeah, you've seen him enough.
I really have. No, I haven't. But Pee Wee got canceled and that was it. And it's never going to happen.
Yeah,
That's it.
probably, yeah.
But you mentioned McCarran Park. I remember, and just like a really quick one. I know you wanted to say something, Joe, but I went for an opening act and then didn't stay for the headliner because it was Sonic Youth was the opener,
Oh my god.
who I wasn't really a fan of. My brother loved Sonic Youth, not me. And it was right before they broke up too, but they were opening for the Yeah Yeah Yeahs. And they
Wow.
started with Maps, and I was like, "This is cool." And my bro was like, "Let's go." So, and then I got into the Yeah Yeahs. And I'm like, "Oh fuck, I should have stayed for that show." But I don't know, what were you gonna say?
Oh, band, another opening band, Nerf Herder.
Yes.
So Nerf Herder is like this California kind of they opened up for Weezer. This was right after, I guess I saw him right after Pinkerton came out, and it was at the Asbury Convention Hall.
Yes.
It was a really crazy place to see a band. It's like
Oh yeah, I know that place.
have you been in? It's almost like being
No,
in.
I haven't, but no, okay.
It's like watching a band on the set of The Warriors.
Yes.
It's just like run down and
The place is going to collapse.
Yeah.
I got to see Jimmy Eat World there, and it was a really fun show. But it's got like leaks everywhere. Like it's.
I don't know if it still does. I know they were trying to redo a lot of stuff, and they have things there. But that was back then. But the cool thing about that, and this ties into probably our next episode, is that Nerf Herder, I thought was like super cool. They were funny. They sounded good. They were like quirky, like Weezer or whatever. So transport it now to like us having kids, and there's the group Parry Grip, who do children's songs.
But they're like weird and silly
and really
so
well
much
produced
fun.
and stuff. And I found out it's the dudes from Nerf Herder.
That's so funny.
It's the main guy. It's the
Is it
singer
just the
and
one
guitar
guy?
player.
Yeah.
Yeah. The writer for Nerf Herder is the writer for Parry Grip.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
kids
Yeah.
like love all the Parry Grip songs.
Man, it just stays with you.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Like
You know,
long
there was
COVID.
Speaking of an opener, and I didn't stay for the main act. Primus opened for Slayer. Like
Whoa!
Matt and I could not sit through a fucking Slayer.
Did you even start it?
Yeah,
right,
we
man.
tried.
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
went there open heart, open mind, open everything.
Can't lose.
I couldn't sit through Slayer. Is it good? Is it?
I like Slayer.
If you're into
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I mean,
think if you
as a
saw
kid, I
one
was
or
really
two
into
songs,
it.
I think you could check that off the list.
I didn't
That's
stay
okay.
because I remember the guy next to me, like, because Matt and I were up for Primus, just just loving it, and then Slayer came on, and we tried, and we're like, oh, and then like I remember getting up and leaving. The guy next to me was like, oh, come on, man. I'm like, but it was just like, I don't know. It was.
You're not into thrash.
I guess not. And I tried. I was like, this is it. This is my door. This is my awakening.
Your
this
big
is
chance.
My, you know,
Right.
And it was just not.
What did you? Totally unrelated. You said MIDI. You said you didn't say MIDI at
Oh,
all.
boy, here
you
we
said
go.
Primus. What did you think of that Black MIDI song I sent you?
Oh my god, that was nuts.
Right. They're playing Asbury Lanes. So
Oh, yeah.
have you? I have to send you this video.
The video was crazy too.
Video is
The was
fucking
beautiful.
great.
Yeah.
The song is awesome. I'm really into it. But the band,
He's obsessed.
I am.
Oh, yeah.
All he has talked about the last week since he found them.
yeah, they're like, it's just crazy. And when I listen to it, I'm like, man, the production that must have went
Yes.
into this is incredible.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah. Then you watch them live on the KEXP thing on YouTube, and that's what they sound like live. That's
Yeah.
that, and it's like crazy like time signatures and it's punky and like almost like
that spoken
Frank
word,
Zappa,
yeah.
the spoken word part of it.
Yeah.
Did you ever? You should watch a live video and see what that dude looks like.
Yeah.
Because he looks like a 12-year-old boy. So anyway, but yes.
What I've noticed is that we only just go to They Might Be Giants, Weezer, and Ben Folds shows. Because my next one is from a Ben Folds opener, yet again. Yes, Cornmo was one of the Ben Folds openers, but the 8th time I saw... How many times did I see Ben Folds? The first time was Cornmo. The 3rd time was with you guys when it was just himself. That was a really good
great
You
show.
were so
But
mad at me and Chris.
He didn't have
Everyone was.
He didn't have a...
No, he didn't.
No,
You
it's
weren't there,
just
though,
him.
right? This is... I think you were No, you were there.
No, she was there. Yeah.
But like you were like a week from having Anna, though. Like this was like right
Oh,
before Anna
yes.
was born.
Or Lucy.
Yes.
At the Ben Folds show? That must have been
No, this
Lucy.
That was Lucy.
It was Lucy?
Yeah, because I was getting all like.
Oh, this was the first
we
night
had
out.
we had
Yeah.
a little baby girl, and I was like blubbering like a child.
Oh yeah, that was my
Song.
first night out after having
he
Henry.
played I Am the Luckiest.
Oh my god!
And me and Joe were just leaning on each other, like literally sobbing
Yeah.
throughout that whole song.
Yeah.
My favorite was when after he played the luckiest, and he's like, "What do you want to hear again?" Or maybe he
You're
didn't say,
so
but we
far
were just
away from your
saying.
microphone.
Well, I
Yeah.
think someone could hear me. No.
No,
Really?
nobody can.
Oh.
No.
Well, I was gonna.
Chris is saying stuff right now.
I'll get you a beer. What do you want?
No.
You tell the story.
No, I mean, well, I'm going to tell the Annie Wade story now, but I just remember he played the luckiest, And then after he sued,
No,
after
but-
he stopped playing, we were like, the luckiest again. Like play it again. It was so moving. It was really so moving. Thank you, Joe.
I felt so lucky.
But do the Annie Waits piano, and I'm gonna nail what I
yeah.
did live. So
I don't think you're going to be able to get that time.
Doon, 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 doon,
and I know
But it was the fucking loudest thing in the entire theater. I don't
We
know
were
how
in
you
the
did
back. We were like basically up against the wall of the top
I just have
level.
an image of someone like turning around like.
This was the
"Whoa."
King's Theater show, right?
Yeah, King's Theater. Oh man, it was incredible. It was a highlight moment of my life.
So the second time I saw Ben Folds, the first time I saw him, I remember I went with a friend and I was like, "Oh, who's the opening act?" And they were like, "Oh, this guy Cornmo," and I was like, "Yes!" They were like, "You know him?"
Cornmo.
I was like, "This guy is a trip." But the second time I saw him was at the Wellmont Theater in Montclair.
Yeah, that's a cool place.
And there was this band who has a big following now. I was looking at their Spotify numbers, like over 1 million viewers and whatnot, and they just released another album. Like they have like 6 albums, but they were just starting out then. It's this band Jukebox the Ghost, and they followed the rules of Ben Folds 5. There's like an element missing. Like in Ben Folds 5, there was no guitar.
Yeah.
In Jukebox the Ghost, there was no bass, but there was a guitarist, a drummer, and a piano
interesting.
player. But the way that they compensated it was they just boosted up the low end of the piano. I mentioned Jukebox the Ghost in, I think, our first episode. This band I fell in love with at jump. I got the T-shirt, got the album. It was very similar to...
I like that is your absolute for if you loved the band.
But I never pay for it. Well, because if I have to spend my goddamn money, that means that I am committed.
It's true. No. It totally makes sense.
No, but not only that, but like my Jukebox to Go shirt was like one of my show shirts. I never wear graphic tees unless if I'm playing shows, and the Jukebox to Go shirt was like almost a staple at like every second show. But they were very similar to Ben Folds, a little bit more theatrical, a little bit more pizzazz on the piano, but it was very lighthearted until the last song. The guitarist took over for vocals and he was like, "This is a song about the Antichrist." And we're like, "All right, this was just a left turn."
Okay.
And it was like this like very dark, haunting song called Static. And if you're listening at home, Jukebox to Go Static, it is an insane song. Like it's just very ominous until the middle, and just think about like only the first time, not now because it got old, but the first time you heard Muse, but like Butterflies and Hurricanes, like with like a lot of like the insanely piano trills and flourishes and glissandos and whatnot. The breakdown of the song, it's a 3-piece band. They go into like this 3-piece like choral harmony, like and the whole place just started going nuts. I like followed this band, started like going to their the headlining shows at smaller venues and everything. Then they dipped off a little bit after the later albums, but that first experience, I was bought in.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jukebox to Ghost, especially their early stuff. Check it out.
You guys gotta make a playlist of on Spotify of all these bands.
Yeah,
You guys have to.
subscribe. Bill Gags, Gags.
Oh, so you make
for
one?
my, I have one. It's just the bands of Red Room. A lot of people from the Discord were asking about like what else is in the Staten Island scene. So just like anything that Joe recorded, I put like a playlist of whatever was on
But
Spotify.
everything you mentioned, though,
add
the
that.
rock pops. You guys gonna make a rock pops playlist?
Yes.
Because every time, because I think so many bands were just mentioned. Because when I was listening to you, so this is I'm critiquing.
Yeah.
No, that's
No,
great.
please
Every time
do.
you mention, like, oh, I gotta go back, but I'm never gonna go back in the episode and then find.
Yeah.
Because it was like mentioned once and then.
Well, the unfortunate thing is, like, especially with copyright and everything, we can't play them on the show, but
Yeah,
we could
right.
definitely put up Spotify
Yeah, exactly.
playlist
Make a
in.
playlist, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I even said it. I think in even the email, like you mentioned your brother's favorite band. Like I don't even remember like growing up. Like which I just want to see what it is. I just want to listen to.
Wait, was
a
that the
few songs.
Klaatu thing? I started listening to Klaatu.
No, Klaatu is
Klaatu.
just
Oh,
something I found.
Klaatu, right,
Klaatu
yeah.
is something I found randomly. Yeah.
Klaatu?
Yeah, Klaatu is like they were. So it's really funny. I think they were like it's like 73 or something. They came out of 72. They have a song. They have an album, but one of their songs is like something like "Welcome Interplanetary People," whatever, and it sounds like a Beatles song.
And they opened for They Might Be Giants. So that's how it was.
Cornmo opened for them.
They
But
all
they-
have symbols on their feet.
But they didn't. Nobody knew who they were. So it was just being played on radio, and nobody knew who they were. So everybody thought it was the Beatles,
That's so funny.
like under a different
that's
name.
fun.
Discography.
Good for them.
Not really. Nothing
I
really
know.
happened for them.
But anybody
Great.
have anything else?
When you saw Jimmy Eat World, do you
do.
remember who opened up for Jimmy Eat World? 'Cause
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I don't want to say that because that was a triple header. Like, there's a difference between a triple header. Like, I saw Green Day and Blink-182. I saw Weezer and Foo Fighters, like, where Weezer opens up for them. That was Desperacidos and The Promise Ring.
Wow.
So
wow.
that was a great show. And The Promise Ring, I was a fan of prior to
Yeah.
it. I wasn't even a fan of Jimmy Eat World before. Now, in retrospect, like, they're a great band. But, yeah, Promise Ring was awesome, that show.
Nice.
You know what I gotta
That
say
must have
about
been fun.
Jimmy Eat World is they're like the production on those albums. It's like I can't like the songwriting is really great, and I consider that part of the production. But the production on those albums are always like flawless,
Yes.
like spectacular.
Interesting, yeah.
And it's not a band that I'm going to go and listen to all the time. But when it comes on, I can't be like I just can't help but be like, oh my god, this just sounds perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially what was the big album?
Bleed American.
Bleed American. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Go back to Clarity, the album right before Bleed American. It is seamless, like you said.
Yeah.
It's really,
That's
really
funny.
good.
Because there was a band. Because I remember I was in Schenectady. I was like in New York. So I was upstate in Delhi in my college years. So I went to go see Jimmy Eat World, and the opener. Because when you said it a week ago, I was like starting to think. There's a band Razorlight, and they were British.
Oh yeah, I
You know
remember
Ra-
them. Yeah.
Yeah, they had
Actually, I think I saw them.
probably yeah. And they had a song called "You're Just Jealous, Never Do the Things You Wish You Could Do." So
Right.
well." And they were cool. I remember buying the album, liking it. Haven't listened to it since. Haven't even thought about it since. Put it on this week. I'm like, oh.
Oh, that was for our growers and showers show.
But yeah, I put it back and the two gallons. But another opener I remember seeing. Well, it was like funny. I like this band, the French Kicks, which that goes to growers or show or just like last month. Like I bought this album years ago, whenever it came out, 2003. Loved it. Didn't know why I loved it. Put it on now. Still put it every so often. I love it. It's a phenomenal album. The French Kicks, Trial of the Century. But yeah, when I went to go see them, they were openers, but they were openers for the Get Up Kids. You know, which the Get Up
yeah.
Kids is just like, you know.
The Get Up Kids is an opening act. You know,
Yeah,
like-
yeah, but they were good. But it was their farewell tour.
Yeah.
So it was just so funny that I was there to see the French Kicks and caught the Get Up Kids like farewell
It was
tour.
a big show
Yeah.
for them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the French Kicks, guys, the Trial of the Century. I listen to it still. I love it so much. You just like, and since I probably a band that never brought up in all the years to you guys. It's like, you know, but an album that I love and identify with so much.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And then that's all I have for open. Oh, and then another just band, Architecture in Helsinki.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's because it was part of the CMJ Music Festival. So I remember this is
Oh, yeah.
before I started smoking pot, and so it's like a different mindset. But I went down to the city by myself to just see Architecture in Helsinki. I didn't ask anybody. I just went to do my thing, and this band, The Blow, opened up, which I just knew people were talking about them. But I was like, oh, the band The Blow is here, but that was just an exciting time to do CMJ Music Festival where there's so many
That was a big
bands.
thing.
No.
That was one of my other openers. There's a band called Women that we
yeah.
played.
Love women, huh?
Ew. They
Only one
Woman.
woman.
there was a they weren't, to call them an opener is not fair, but I like first time I heard them was at one of the CMJ things. We were playing and we got like passes to go see other shows.
Yeah.
So I went to, I don't even know where it was, but they played and I was just like blown away.
Yeah.
And they have 2 albums.
And that's
One of the dudes died. They had like they broke up.
There's a
like,
man. in women?
It was.
No.
Yeah, that's it. Let's just shut the show down.
Well, it's the 90s, I guess.
90s. This is the 2000s.
Oh, that's right.
But anyway, that's it. Women. You should check out their first album. It's
Cool.
great.
What a funny. You check out women. Like,
Just check them out.
Check them out.
But on the slide,
They're
you don't
all
want to be a
around.
creep.
You know, sunglasses usually work well.
Man.
All right, we're canceled.
all right.
Anybody got anything
Find
else?
me.
I think we're good.
All right. Thank you for listening. We are Rock Pops. You could email us at rockpops.
wait.
Oh,
I saw
hello.
the
No.
Budos band
Oh,
open for Primus.
nice.
Cool.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. That's pretty funny. So the Budos band, big Staten Island band, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they opened, or maybe Les Claypool. They opened for Les Claypool,
Mm.
not Primus. But yeah, that was another one.
big.
It was like I know them. I was like, oh, but yeah, it was
Still
great.
big.
Yeah.
And I only listened to the Budos band 3 times. That's,
Buddha's like,
but they're great. But yeah, it's
and
like,
also one. I feel like it's one of those bands that the albums also sound awesome.
Yeah.
But it's also a great fucking live show.
yes,
Like that's a show
Right,
to be
that's
at.
another
And
one,
like
yeah.
So, yeah, excellent opening act.
all right.
If you have any... I had to bring it back.
Yeah, bring it back.
Questions,
So,
comments, concerns, complaints.
The opener
Right.
show is coming to a close.
Yeah. Oh.
You planned that
man.
before you got here.
Chris Vert could
in
be
the
found on Bandcamp.
Cheryl Crow buying the tickets.
Chris, you had a band that
Yeah.
you are on Bandcamp, right? Joe and I played on it.
Chris Bird and his boy band.
I
Chris
really
Burton
want to
is
have
so good.
another
Joe
album.
recorded it.
Let's have another album.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Jen,
I was on it too.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
You can play it. No copyright here.
All right. You know what? We'll what do you want to do? Pepper Ann on the sign out?
No, what's the other one?
No, the
What's the yelling one? The one that
Crocodile
I yelled
Smile?
on.
Yeah,
Crocodile Smile.
Yeah, we'll
All
just
right.
do that. Yeah.
We'll close it with Crocodile Smile. Jen is the guitarist for Les Vinyl.
That's right.
So
Oh,
you could
wait.
what?
for Les
Les
Claypool.
Vinyl opened for Ingrid Michaelson.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
We did, yeah, at the St. George Theater and in Snug Harbor at the Snug Harbor Theater.
That was exciting.
Those were good times.
I was at that show and I totally got laid by the
Whoa.
guitar player. from
That's
Les
what she
Vinyl.
announced to
Casey.
the audience that you got proposed to.
Yeah, Casey announced it like anyone there knew who we were or cared that I was proposed to.
You got an
No
applause.
offense,
Yeah,
Joe.
you did.
But my
You broke the heart of a lot of 13-year-old girls there.
yeah, okay.
But I want to do
Okay.
finger stuff to her.
Fingers. We have to edit.
I want to do beep stuff to her.
It's okay. They didn't do finger stuff to me. You can play it.
It's the last time I'm going to plug anybody's stuff.
Oh, man, don't ask me
Keep
what I
on-
want to
yeah.
plug. Don't ask me what I want to plug. Just don't do it. Don't ask.
So yeah, rockpopspod@gmail.com. And you could tweet us, right? I don't know how Twitter
Yeah.
works. I'm keep on looking. I'm like, how did...
Send Cheryl Crow tickets via Twitter
Yes.
Be the
to
first
rock
one to write.
That's it.
At
Backstage passes to
rockpopspod
Cheryl Crow.
Twitter, if you got that, if you pick that up. We still don't have a sign off, so this is what I'm going to do for a sign off. I'm just going to do a dad joke at the end of every episode and just cut it short.
I have one.
Do it.
Do you have one?
Well, I mean, I'll always have them.
always got them.
But
I have a
My
long
wife.
form.
No, my wife though, but you know, like I love her so much, but every time I go in the fridge, she doesn't close things fully. Caps, even doors, lids. I mean, just because something's called a jar doesn't mean you have to leave it that way.
That was awful.
I don't mind. I'll wait a while. I'd
extra mile down the throat of a crocodile for that service. Service with a smile. Service with a smile. Service with